Ndala, ndala, ndala. Welcome back to Makeda Wisdom Channel. So today I wanted to answer few letters of wisdom that I've received in the past few months. I've picked two that will be posted back to back. So the first one is one question that comes back often in terms of those of you who are learning and trying to implement the Maat principle and trying to apply them in your daily lives. So the question was basically what to do when you've breached one of the principle, what to do when you haven't followed it or you've made a mistake or whatever the situation is. And the question more precisely was asking for, is there any rituals I can do when I breach one of the principle? Well, first of all, this channel is mainly and almost all about personal responsibility, doing your part, doing and paying attention to things that are under your control. Okay? There are so much out there that you can control, that you can foresee, that you can escape, that you can't play with it, etc. But from my perspective, there's 95% of things that depends on your own decision, your actions, what you choose to entertain, the choices you make, the consequences of your action, thoughts, and words. And for me, there's no such rituals. Of course, you'll be able to find, if you go on the internet or whatever, you may find something, but that's not how I will answer this question. For me, there is no point for you doing a ritual if you don't do what I will suggest you do first. So when you breach a principle, whichever principle it is, let's say it was you caused harm to someone else because you lied or you manipulated them or whatever. It's not just enough for you to acknowledge that you've made a mistake. Okay? Everyone here is going to make mistake, so don't start shaming yourself or feeling bad. I mean, the fact that you're already questioning it and that you realize it and that you're feeling bad about it is already demonstrating that you are not an empty vessel. Okay? You are able to sense and feel certain things, at least the minimum, at least even afterwards, after you've done something that's wronged someone else. The first step is your ability to be able to feel. And while some of you will say, well, this is normal. When you know you wrong somebody, you should know right from wrong. Well, not necessarily. There are situations that may be more complicated. And since I'm not going to share with you the exact facts that were shared by this person, it's just to say that sometimes situations are complicated. You have a choice to make, and you may make a wrong one. You may make a mistake. Any of us, all of us have made mistakes. So this is not to say that you're not going to make it, that you have to be perfect, blah, blah, blah. This is more to say that you're going to make a mistake. Okay? The aim of Maat is helping you do less and less mistake. And as you apply it every day, as you continue to aim to be the best version of yourself, the improved version of yourself, well, hopefully you will do less and less mistakes. And hopefully you won't repeat the same mistake. That's the whole point of learning from the actions that you've done in the past, learning from situations that were difficult, that were hard, that were painful, that were sad, learning from them so you're not going around repeating them over and over again. So the first step is to acknowledge the fact that you've made a mistake. The second step is to correct that mistake. So no going to do no rituals, no candles, no nothing like that. You need to go to this person, if this is the person that you hurt, that you wronged, that you cheated on or whatever. You need to go and make ends meet, meaning that you need to go, first of all, apologize. Okay? If you're asking me what to do when you breach the principle, it's because you are somewhat remorseful, which is a good thing, which means that for you, doing the right thing or being in harmony with others is important. And this is why you're seeking this answer. This is why you even have this question within yourself. And it's to say that not everyone is like that. Some people can go around, hurt other people, and don't even feel anything because they have already so much emptiness within themselves. It's much harder for them to even realize that they're going around hurting people. So the fact that you do and you realize that is actually a good thing. Now you do need to muster the courage, okay? Whatever force, energy it took you to wrong this person, well, you have within you the same force to go and ask for forgiveness, to apologize and ask for forgiveness. Those two things are important. They're important for that person, but that's primarily important more for you. Because if you're asking what to do and all that, is because you need to make amends. Now, this is your responsibility. You need to go and make what you did wrong right. So if it's correcting, returning something you stole, apologizing to someone you've hurt, and attempting and doing it. So it's not just you're doing in your head or you're praying in your room or anything like that. You do have to contact the person. Now, granted, if this person doesn't want to see you, doesn't want to talk to you or anything like that, then that's not your responsibility. Okay, you may have hurt them so much that they don't want even to hear from you. So at that point, leave a voicemail saying that you apologize, and if they don't want to contact you, then that's it. But you do have to still communicate that you're sorry and all of that. It's not enough for you to call and it's just ringing, the person is not picking up, and you just hang up and like, well, she doesn't want to, or he doesn't want to pick up. Leave that message. Send the text message. However else you need to just communicate that information, communicate it before you just give up. Now, if the person changed the phone numbers, already passed away, all that stuff, then this is a different path, meaning that there's nothing much that you can do. If it affected their family members, you can go apologize to one of them if you know them or if you have contact with them. That's important to relay that information, especially when what you did, depending on the extent of the consequences of what you did. If you touch and you hurt many people, then you have to go around and make amends with all of those people. So you see, it's not just about you just thinking, okay, I know I did something right, to something wrong, and then, okay, I'm just going to wake up next day and start over with Maat and do my affirmations or whatever. That's not enough. Personal responsibility is also assuming the mistake that you've made. And yes, people may laugh at you depending on what you did. They may curse out at you. You may feel ashamed, you may feel whatever kind of ways. But you have to understand that the feeling that you're going to get from that is a consequence of the choices that you've made. And there is no growth, spiritual growth or personal growth if you refuse to take responsibility for what you're doing. If you refuse to acknowledge the mistake that you have made, you just ended up repeating those mistakes over and over again and hurting more and more people. So that's basically my answer. I don't have any rituals for you. I don't have anything for you, any magic formula. I will just tell you, go make that wrong right. As simple as that. If you need some time to think about it, to prepare, to choose your words, whatever else, take that time and then go for it. The worst that can happen is that person doesn't want to talk to you. And then in which case you just respect that and just communicate that you are sorry and that you apologized. That's the first step. The second step is that you actually change your ways. The whole point of you realizing that you've made this mistake is so that you can learn from it and not repeat it again. Which means you have to assess what type of behavior, what type of thought, what type of ways of thinking, of thought process, of choices you've made so that you are aware and so that you're not going to repeat those choices, make the same choices in a similar situation with someone else or even with the same person. That's learning from your mistake, and that is growing up. A lot of the messages that I receive sometimes comes from people who are looking to escape personal responsibility, jumping from one religion to another, jumping from one spiritual system to another. And I'm sorry, you can't just grow spiritually if you're not growing personally. You have to be able to grow personally as well. And this includes taking responsibility for the way you behave, for the type of thoughts you entertain, for what you say to other people, when you cross your words, when you recant your words, when you don't live up to the promises that you've made, when you don't live up to the standards that you've held for yourself or that you're holding other people. All of those things you have to be responsible for, and you have to live up and assume that responsibility. It comes with the territory. Your wealth and accumulation of knowledge, of wisdom, of experience has to come with your personal growth. So there you have it. Just 2 things to do. Make your wrong right, and make sure you change your behavior and that side of yourself that caused you to act like that or commit that mistake in the first place. So yeah, there you have it. If you do have questions, you can still keep sending me your letters of wisdoms, your questions, your suggestions, your comments. Of course, if you do have something else to share with this person that may help them on how you achieve a greater application of Maat, what are your own lessons that you've learned and how you've dealt with doing somebody wrong, you can put that and let me know in the comment section. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.